The rain fell in torrents that evening, drumming against the rooftops like the frantic heartbeat of a city that had lost its way. Among the gray streets and blurred lights, she stood alone, drenched, yet unmoving, as if the world around her had ceased to exist. Her name was Amara, a young woman whose life had been a string of quiet misfortunes and unnoticed struggles. She had learned early that kindness was often taken for granted and that hope could be a fragile, fleeting companion. But as she stood there, staring into the blurred reflections of neon signs on the wet pavement, a strange, electric feeling stirred in her heart, a sense that something extraordinary was about to unfold. Before we dive deeper, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the magic that love can bring into a broken life, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Amara's story was not a tale of sudden fortune or fairy tale castles. It was stitched together by the quiet resilience of someone who had loved fiercely, even when the world had refused to reciprocate. She worked long hours at a small bookstore, a place that smelled of old paper, nostalgia, and dreams that hadn't yet come true. Every day, she would watch people rush by, heads down, oblivious to the beauty around them, and she would wonder if anyone else carried the same silent yearning she felt inside, a longing for a love that was real, honest, and unshakable. Life, however, had a way of testing that longing. Amara had loved before, truly and deeply, but it had ended in heartbreak that left her questioning her worth. Her ex, confident and charming, had promised her the stars but delivered nothing but shadows. Yet, despite the scars, she believed that love sanely, completely, without illusions, was still possible. She had learned to walk carefully, to guard her heart, yet never to close it entirely. It was this delicate balance that defined her days, her quiet evenings, and her dreams that flickered like candlelight against the darkness of the past. Then came the night when everything shifted, seemingly by accident, but perhaps by fate. The city was wrapped in a storm, the kind that made people rush home, curling into warmth and safety. Amara, however, had a task to deliver a rare book to a client at a small cafe tucked away in an alley she had never noticed before. The cafe smelled of roasted coffee and cinnamon, and soft jazz played in the background, creating a cocoon of warmth against the storm outside. It was there, in the dim glow of the cafe, that she first saw him. His name was Elias. He had a quiet presence, a gentle intensity in his eyes that seemed to see right through the layers she had built around herself. He was sketching something in a notebook, oblivious to the world, yet fully present in it, a paradox that fascinated her instantly. There was something tender about the way he smiled at small, ordinary things, as if life itself were a canvas of unnoticed miracles. That night, as she handed him the book, their fingers brushed briefly, a spark that neither could ignore. She felt the first tremor of a connection she had almost given up believing in. Elias's life, like Amara's, had not been free from shadows. He was an artist, a creator of worlds on paper, yet his own world was often lonely, punctuated by moments of doubt and loss. His previous love had left him, not out of a lack of affection, but because fear had driven her away. He had vowed never to let himself be broken again, but as soon as he met Amara, something inside him softened in a way he hadn't expected. Her eyes were a mirror to his own guarded soul, her quiet strength a balm to his insecurities. Days turned into weeks, and their encounters became a rhythm neither had anticipated. The storm that had brought them together was replaced by sunlight and laughter, the kind that seeps deep into the bones and lingers long after the moment has passed. Amara began to notice small things: how Elias would remember her favorite coffee, how he would leave tiny sketches on her doorstep, How he seemed to understand her silences as profoundly as her words. And Elias, in turn, was captivated by Amara's resilience, her ability to find beauty in mundane moments, and the courage she carried quietly, like a shield she never let falter. But love, even the most tender, rarely moves in a straight line. Amara's past heartbreak cast long shadows, whispering fears she had worked so hard to silence. She questioned every smile, every touch, afraid that this, too, might be temporary. Elias, too, wrestled with doubts. Could he allow himself to hope without fear? Could he trust that this connection, so intense and so real, was not just a fleeting miracle? Their love grew in small, careful increments, a delicate dance between desire and caution, between hope and fear. The turning point came on a chilly evening, under the golden haze of a street lamp that flickered against the quiet hum of the city. They had walked together for hours, talking about everything and nothing, sharing stories that spanned their childhood dreams and adult disappointments. At the edge of a small bridge, overlooking the river that caught the reflections of the city lights, Elias turned to her and spoke with a vulnerability that took her breath away. He admitted the fear that had held him back, the scars he carried, and yet the hope he dared to nurture because of her. Amara, with tears blurring her vision, shared her own fears, her past heartbreak, and the fragile yet unwavering belief that love, if chosen sanely and fiercely, could heal even the deepest wounds. From that night on, something shifted. They no longer walked cautiously, they moved with intention. Every moment became a testament to their choice to love, not blindly or recklessly, but with awareness, compassion, and honesty. They learned to celebrate each other's strengths, to comfort each other's insecurities, and to find joy in the quiet, ordinary moments of life that often go unnoticed. Their love was not a story of instant perfection, but a narrative of resilience, trust, and the magic that emerges when two wounded hearts choose to embrace each other fully. Challenges continued to appear, as they always do in real life. Family doubts, career pressures, and lingering shadows from past relationships tested their bond. There were nights when distance or misunderstandings made the future seem uncertain, but each time they returned to the truth that had brought them together, the unwavering recognition of each other's worth and the courage to nurture love, even when it seemed impossible. Through arguments, tears, and sleepless nights, they discovered that love was not about perfection. It was about choosing each other again and again, no matter the storms that came. And then came a moment that would etch itself into their souls forever. On a quiet morning, as the first light of dawn spilled into their shared apartment, Elias presented Amara with a small, intricately wrapped box. Inside was a delicate locket, engraved with a promise, sanely, always. It was a symbol of the journey they had taken together, a testament to the beauty of love chosen consciously, a love that survived the shadows and emerged luminous, steady, and true. Amara's heart swelled with a depth of emotion she had never thought possible, a mixture of relief, gratitude, and the kind of joy that feels eternal. Their story, though deeply personal, holds a mirror to all of us. It reminds us that love is not always grand gestures or cinematic moments. It is patience, understanding, and the courage to remain vulnerable in a world that often tells us to protect ourselves. It teaches us that second chances are not just possible, they are the reward of resilience and hope. And it shows that when two souls meet and recognize each other fully, without pretenses, the world around them can transform, revealing beauty in every ordinary day. As Amara and Elias embraced, watching the sunrise together, the city around them seemed to hold its breath in reverence. It was not a fairy tale of castles and magic spells, but it was a fairy tale nonetheless, crafted from the delicate threads of reality, hope, and the profound courage to love sanely, deeply, and without reservation. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that love, patience, and kindness can truly change lives, please engage with this video, like, share, and comment below. Share your own experiences, your own second chances, or simply the warmth you felt from witnessing Amara and Elias's journey. And before you go, please leave a comment just to let us know how this story made you feel, because your voice adds to the magic of sharing love in the world. Amara and Elias walked forward, not into a storybook ending, but into a life that was theirs to shape, beautiful, imperfect, and breathtakingly real. In loving each other sanely, they discovered the extraordinary in the ordinary, the miraculous in the mundane, and the undeniable truth that love, when chosen with courage and clarity, can heal, uplift, and endure far beyond any heartbreak, doubt, or fear. And in that, they became a living testament to the wonder of human connection, a reminder that fairy tales do exist, not in distant kingdoms, but in the hearts of those brave enough to love without losing themselves.